Okay, this is a large salmon fillet. It's a wild-caught sockeye salmon, and something you should know about salmon is it's important to eat wild-caught. It's so much better for you than the farm-raised salmon. So that's just one tip for you. That if you can get wild-caught salmon, that's really best. This happens to be a wild-caught sockeye. It's a large fillet. We're going to cut this into 3 pieces after it's cooked, and I think you're going to really watch it go from its raw form into that final version when it comes out of the oven. So the ingredients for the salmon are very simple. We've got some capers that are going to go in toward the end. We've got a freshly cut lemon. We've got some kosher salt. We're going to just use a pinch of that. And we've got some minced garlic. And we've got a bit of olive oil. We're not going to use all that olive oil, but that's going to be a drop just for the pan. Okay, so those are the ingredients that go in to this dish, along with the wild-caught sockeye salmon. Okay, so we have a skillet that's on the top burner of the stove, and what we're going to do with that is put just a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pan, just kind of to wet the pan with oil, okay? So that's our first goal, and I got to tell you, cooking in a cast iron skillet is absolutely the best way to prepare this meal. In fact, it's the only way that I know to make this work, okay? So you want yourself a really good cast iron skillet. And we're going to get that skillet pretty hot with some oil in it. Okay, while the oil is getting hot, what we're going to go do is season up our salmon. Alright, so our first ingredient is the lemon, and we're going to just squeeze fresh lemon all over the salmon. You really can't put too much lemon on this because it actually cooks down and it cooks out, but it really keeps a really nice moisture to the salmon, and it actually enhances the flavor. So we put a little seasoning of lemon, fresh squeezed lemon. We're going to take just a pinch of kosher salt. Now, kosher salt is really an amazing salt. It's a coarse salt, so you've got to be very careful with it, but the top chefs, and trust me, I'm no top chef, but the top chefs prefer kosher salt over all the other salts, okay? Then you're going to take a little bit of minced garlic and kind of put that garlic throughout. You can get that flavor of that garlic on there. Alright. And if you don't have minced garlic, you can certainly use a powdered garlic as well. And actually, I like that sometimes even better than the minced. It tastes very good. So, either way. But that's all you have is some kosher salt, a little bit of minced garlic, and some fresh squeezed lemon on that. Okay, now let's go look and see what if our pan is ready, if it's hot enough. Okay, it appears that our pan is sizzling hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our salmon, and we're just going to put it, I put my salmon meat side down. I put my salmon meat side down because there's some things we're going to do to it when we flip it over. We're actually going to put it in an oven once we get it at a certain point here. So let me show you what we're doing. But I just tend to keep squeezing lemon, even on the back side of this thing now, just to kind of keep the flavors kind of penetrating through and keep it moist while it's sizzling in the pan. Okay, while it's sizzling in the pan, what you're going to do is make sure you turn your oven on to 400 degrees. You need that oven at 400 because this is not going to fully cook in the pan. We're actually going to cook it, finish cooking it in the oven. So give it a little bit of time for it to cook on its belly side first. Then we're going to flip it over, cook it, and then we're going to put it in the oven. So what we're doing is cooking it for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And it's really a matter of looking to see when it's almost cooked. We're going to cook this on the belly side for a bit, maybe a couple of minutes or so, and then we're going to flip it over to the skin side. We're going to dress it up with a little bit more of our seasoning, and then we're going to actually put it in the oven for about 4 minutes. I set the timer in the oven for about 4 minutes. Okay, you can hear the sizzle, and you can kind of see right about here it's starting to cook down a little bit right there. So we're going to let that cook for quite a bit more until it's ready, and you'll see in just a moment what that looks like. Okay, we're going to flip this. I can't do it holding the camera, so we're going to go ahead and give this a flip, okay? Okay, you can see that it's just cooking up nicely. Don't worry about the brown on it. It's perfectly fine that it's a little extra brown. It's actually more tasty that way. But we're cooking it up, and what we're going to do is On this side, give it a couple of minutes or so, and then we're going to pop it in the oven for exactly 4 minutes. You know it's ready to go in the oven again when the pink turns this shade of pink right here, okay? So we're ready to go ahead and put that in the oven for 4 minutes. Okay, before we go into the oven, we're going to squeeze a little bit more lemon on it. Again, you can't get too much lemon. You're going to do that. You can keep it real moist. If you feel like you need a little bit more seasoning, go ahead and this is a good time to do it. But now we're going to add some capers, okay? We're going to put some capers. And if you don't like the capers, just take them off afterward. But I would suggest you cook with them because it gives this such a great flavor. So just kind of put the capers, we're just kind of all over the salmon fillet, and then we're ready to go to the oven. We've just put the fillet in the oven. We're going to go for 4 minutes. Okay, the oven's beeping. That's our 4 minutes. All right, so we're going to reach in the oven and grab the salmon. Look how pretty that is. Listen to it sizzle. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, so this is incredible. It tastes like it came off a grill. I mean, seriously, you don't have to cook outdoors to make it taste like it came off the grill. And so we're going to cut this, like I said, into 3 pieces. We're going to serve it with a mix of garbanzo beans, spinach, seasoned with a little oil and salt and pepper. It's a great mixture, actually, that you can cook together like that. And probably some fruit, maybe some cantaloupe or something of that nature. So it's going to continue to cook a little bit in the pan. So you're going to go ahead and want to lift that off and plate it real soon. But this is my favorite salmon dish. All right. Thank you, guys.